Hello, and welcome to my course project presentation on the Canada warbler, and follow along as we discuss conservation, life history, management strategies, and important research. Today, I'm here to talk about the Canada warbler, a small but colorful migratory songbird. It has a bright yellow throat and breast, a gray back, and a black necklace-like pattern across its chest. This bird lives in moist, shady forest with lots of shrubs and undergrowth, where it searches for insects and spiders. The Canada warbler breeds in Canada and parts of the northeastern United States, then migrates all the way to South America for the winter. It is an important bird to protect because habitat loss is causing its numbers to decline. Even though it is hard to spot in dense forests, the Canada warbler is easy to recognize once you know its bright colors and black chest markings. Here, we discuss the Canada warbler's growth, survival, and reproduction, and then compare it to the magnolia warbler. Canada warblers begin as eggs, then hatch into nestlings, they fledge quickly, and later become juveniles before reaching adulthood. They survive by using dense, moist forest understory, hidden ground-level nests, and a diet of insects and spiders. Their migration is between North and South America, which allows them to follow seasonal habitat and food availability. Breeding takes place in northeastern United States, and then they migrate all the way to the Andes in South America. Here in Part 2, we discuss their reproductive pattern, as it is fairly low with a small clutch size, short incubation, and only one main brood season each season. Compared with the magnolia warbler, the Canada warbler is more specialized because it depends on that thick understory and wet forest habitat. The magnolia warbler is a little bit more flexible, using young conifer forests and second growth areas, which makes it less vulnerable to habitat change. So the main trade-off here is that the Canada warbler's specialization can help with concealment, but it also makes the species more at risk when habitat does disappear. Now let's discuss threats to the Canada warbler's survival. The biggest threat is obviously habitat loss and fragmentation of those moist forest habitats, especially when the understory is removed. This bird depends on dense shrubs and low vegetation, so logging, development, and heavy deer overbrowsing can make the forest unsuitable for nesting. The species is also threatened outside the breeding season because its wintering forests in the Andes have experienced major deforestation. The Canada warbler is an important songbird to study in conservation because even though it is not globally endangered, it has declined sharply across much of its range. Long-distance migration adds more risk and energy use, and their smaller clutch size also puts them at risk. These life history traits make their conservation action plans especially complex, requiring more than just breeding season aid. They require management strategies that will follow them throughout their journey. A strong management strategy for the Canada warbler is to protect and restore dense, moist forest understory. This bird depends on thick shrubs and ground cover for nesting, hiding, and feeding, so habitat quality is really important here. Forestry practices like selective logging can help if they keep understory intact. And reducing deer overbrowsing can also improve nesting cover. In West Virginia, in my region, this could mean protecting forest patches with good shrub growth and limiting clearing during the breeding season. People involved in this strategy would include wildlife agencies, foresters, landowners, and conservation groups. The expected result is more successful nesting and better survival for the warbler. This strategy could also help other forest birds, although it may reduce short-term logging opportunities in some areas. Interested and affected parties include conservation agencies, foresters and landowners, local communities, bird researchers, hunters and wildlife managers, government land managers, and the expected outcomes are more safe nesting sites, better insect food supply and healthy understory, higher breeding success, slower population decline, improved habitat for migrating birds. The life history connection. Because the species nests low, it depends on dense cover. Habitat protection has a strong effect. And because it raises only a small number of young each season, losing even just a few nests can matter a lot. Because it migrates such a long distance, habitat must also be protected during migration stopovers as well. The impacts on non-target species. While we said that other forest birds, small animals, and insects use healthy understory may benefit, the reduced logging may lower short-term timber production. Deer control can affect hunting interests and local management goals. Overall, the strategy would likely help many forest species, not just the Canada warbler. Regional habitat needs of the Canada warbler in Alberta. Ball et al. 2016 showcases that Canada warblers rely on dense shrubs and understory for breeding. They prefer moist, forested areas and avoid open or disturbed land. Habitat quality changes across the landscape, meaning they need more specific vegetation conditions. Dense regeneration and shrub layers are key for nesting. This shows why logging, fragmentation, and loss of understory really hurt the species. How fragmentation affects Canada warbler populations. Hart and Bain et al. 2025 highlights Canada warbler occurrence depends on both habitat amount and fragmentation. Birds avoid forests that are broken into smaller pieces. Even when the habitat exists, fragmentation still reduces warbler use. Connected forest patches are more vulnerable and they're more valuable than scattered habitat. This matters because Canada warblers need large intact forests to breed and survive. Canada warbler habitat use in central Appalachian riparian forests. Larkin et al. 2024 examined Canada warbler habitat use in riparian forests of the central Appalachians. Occupancy was linked to habitat structure at multiple scales. The species favors streamside forests with dense vegetation. Both local understory and broader forest conditions matter here. This shows that protecting riparian habitat is key for Canada warblers in this specific region of Appalachia. Canada warbler migration through Central America. Roberto Chiron et al. 2020 researched Canada warblers from many breeding areas and showed they converge on the same migration route through Central America. Birds from different regions all travel through Central America to reach South America. Researchers use geolocators to track these paths. Habitat loss in Central America can impact many breeding populations. This makes Central America another stopover habitat and a key conservation bottleneck. Thank you very much.